Single store is most interesting when it has a large amount of data, but that can make demoing it difficult because it's hard to come up with what that data should look like, and it can be hard to generate the data and to get it into the database. One solution to that problem is the topic of this video, which is a set of scripts and a workflow that I've come up with that I think solve this so well that we're going to do a challenge. Where given 5 minutes, I will generate, load, and deliver a demo over data on a random topic. I have yet to fully complete this, so we will see how it goes. The clock has not started yet. It will start once we have the demo topic. But first, let me show you the setup. So I've already gone to the single store customer portal, and I've created a workspace group that will be used for our demo. And I have here on GitHub the loadit repo where I've included the scripts. There's a version for SQL, for data intended for SQL clients, and if you're going to use a MongoDB client through Single Store Kai, there's also a version to generate that sort of data. So let's go to SQL. There are 3 Python scripts here that are intended to be used in a single store notebook. So to get started, I'll go to the Data Studio tab and create a new notebook. We'll call this demo. And I will grab cell number 1, paste that in. This will create the database and install the Faker package, which is really useful for generating synthetic data. I will grab cell number 2 and paste that in. And since this one is still running, I'll just go ahead and grab cell number 3. And paste that in as well. So here we are, we've created the database, installed Faker. A key step here is I'm going to select that database, which will be used in the subsequent cells. Now we'll run cell number 2, and we'll run cell number 3. Now without any modifications, this is just going to load some example data from the repo. We can see here it's loading, rows per second. Let's see how high it goes. We've got 11,000, 12,000. We're loading 1 million documents by default with this. So far, we've added almost half. It's up to about 20,000 rows per second. So this takes about a minute. This particular data set, though, is not very interesting. It's just some random table with A, B, C, D, and JSON columns. And we need to customize it for our demo topic. So what we're going to do as soon as this completes, and there we are, 1 million rows, we're going to take cell number 2 and we'll paste it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to generate some different synthetic data for us. So I'm going to start a stopwatch now, and we'll get the actual demo topic and start the clock. Ready? Go. So our random topic will be, what is this? A species of sedge. What is a sedge? It's a plant. Okay, we're going to do a database of plants and prices. Let's do a database for some company that's selling all kinds of plants, including exotic plants native to Madagascar that might be hard to acquire. So we will ask ChatGPT to create that database for us. We will grab cell number 2, paste it into O1 preview, and say here, modify this to instead be an orders database from a plants catalog, including exotic plants from around the world. Make sure to include rich data, lots of numbers, JSON, make it interesting. Okay, let's see how O1 Preview does on that. Hopefully it doesn't think too long because we burned a little bit of time there. I found that O1 Preview is really good at this. It generates Python code that almost always works first try. Occasionally it will do something a bit off and you'll have to make a small tweak, but it's easy to take for granted how cool this actually is, that we have this capability now. In the past, you'd have to think about, well, what could a database look like, what could the fields be, how to generate the fake data, and it does all that for us right here. So this, hopefully though, is almost done because we are about at the halfway mark already. Come on. Yes. Okay. Took almost a minute for that. Here we have our table. It's going to have an order ID, primary key, some information on the customer, plant descriptions. Oh, got an image in there. That's interesting. The price, the order date, the quantity. Does it have JSON? A couple JSON things. Okay. And it has a whole bunch of random plants. It will generate it and return it. So this all looks good. Let's copy this back to the portal, restore our cell number 2. We'll run that cell. There it is. Oh, and I forgot to check how many records is it making. Still 1,000,000. That's good. Since we only have 5 minutes, we could ramp it up if we had a little bit more time. Now let's load the plant database. Is it going to work first try? We will see. Sometimes it gets the fields wrong, and there it goes. Rows per second here, we are at maybe close to 10,000. It's going to take 1.5 minutes to complete this load. So in order to complete on time, let's just start demoing while the load is still going, because SingleStore is a real-time database. You can do that. What are we going to do? Let's get the average plant price for everything as it loads in real time. So we'll go to the SQL editor here. We will say select, pick our database, select average plant price from, what was the name of the table? Plant orders. There we go. In real time, you can see that update. It's changing a little bit as more plants are added. Let's get the count as well while we go. There we go. We're almost at 1,000,000. So you can see that these fast aggregations are, no matter what the quantity of data, really, this one of the strengths of SingleStore. As it gets more data, over 1,000,000, it will actually make sure that the data is continuously flushed into a column storage. That makes it scale up to hundreds of millions, even billions, hundreds of billions, potentially, of rows in this plant orders database. Okay, but are we at now 1,000,000? There, so the load is done. We've completed at 1,000,000 rows. So what else can we do? Select star from plant orders. I guess I should have done a limit there. Here's all the information that we just generated. Plant image, price. Let's pick group by something. Let's group by the country and the shipping address. This will show up the JSON feature. Select count star from plant orders, group by JSON. Shipping address, and we want country. You know, I am losing this challenge based on, there we go. So there's another thing. You can group by JSON. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with JSON. And we're going to consider that demo done because I am over time. I did not successfully complete the challenge. That was 5 minutes and 40 seconds. But hopefully you got the point of using these tools. I think the notebooks environment, which was, you're able to run things straight from within the browser here that are close to your database in the SingleStore portal. It can do rich data generation using Python scripts. By combining that with this, with an LLM to just ask it to generate synthetic data, it is a really powerful tool to generate even really large data sets. Like I could make this, let's just do it, 1 billion rows of plant orders. That's a pretty impressive plant company. and it will go ahead and do that for us. Not in 5 minutes, but we will see as soon as this gets going. Let's see, 100,000 seconds or something like that if it's going to get to 10,000. So you could leave it running for a long time. You could also, if you did want that amount of data, you could run these same Python scripts on a more powerful client machine. That would be, maybe a VM with tons of cores or something. That's really the client CPU is the limiting factor here. So I will be using this strategy for all of my demos that in the past I used random other clients for, and maybe you'll find them useful as well. The loaded repo on GitHub, or just make your own scripts in the notebooks. Thank you for watching.